It is a speech that is being hailed as the most liberal and progressive inaugural address in decades, with themes including gun control, climate change, gay marriage, immigration. President Obama's inaugural address outlined an agenda that will undoubtedly, be faced with severe pushback from Republicans. And here's what Speaker of the House, John Boehner, had to say about that inauguration speech.
So we're expecting here over the next 22 months to be the focus of this administration as they attempt to annihilate the Republican Party. And let me just tell you, I do believe that is their goal, to just shove us into the dustbin of history.
And joining me now to try and defend his old boss, President Obama's former economic advisor, Austin Goolsbee. You were hanging out with him on Monday, right?
I was.
Did my name come up at all?
Only in the nicest possible way.
Yeah, only. All right. Have you been following the story about Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods and Tiger Woods? I left California years ago.
Yeah, this California's tax.
And Phil Mickelson, out of every dollar he makes after he pays state, local, federal taxes, all his taxes, 63 cents of every dollar goes to the government. Is that a problem? Wait a minute. I didn't even ask the question.
Well, that wasn't an actual true fact. The accountants have come back and said it wasn't.
I'll break it down.
True.
All right. Well, let's break down. 40% national tax, 13.5. That's 53.5. Hang on. 4% Obamacare tax, so that's 57.5. Hang on. Then we have FICA tax, Social Security. Then we have local tax.
Now,
then we have sales tax and property tax.
As many of those you don't add on top of each other. But the point is, that's on the millionth dollar.
60 cents of every dollar.
300, 400,000 of it.
Oh, I bow down and thank almighty government.
Nobody's paying more than 30-some% of their income.
I'm paying 60 cents of every dollar I make. Sorry.
Of your millionth dollar.
Excuse me. You don't know how much I'm making.
I know what the tax rates are. But I have a bone to pick with you, Sean. We made a bet on the election that you were going to take me to dinner if the president won. Well, we just had the inauguration. He won, Sean. And my friend Mario in Chicago, he watched your show. He told me you would never take a Democrat to dinner.
I will.
He said it would never happen.
I sent this to you a month ago.
You should
paid off.
You pay. Spending will not solve your obligation. More spending is not the answer.
I'm redistributing wealth.
That is why I have come to prove that you would have dinner with me. I was only able to locate a Nathan's hot dog nugget for us, Sean, but I'm having dinner with Sean Hannity, and nobody can say I didn't.
Well, show everybody the Roos Chris gift certificate I gave you.
Okay, that's true.
I sent that a month ago.
How do I know this didn't come from some nefarious super PAC or otherwise?
I don't know anybody at a super PAC, for crying out loud. You're ruining all our time.
Okay.
All right, good. We ate dinner. All right, wait a minute. So if Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson are saying they got to leave their states, if you have Nicolas Sarkozy is going to leave France, if you have Gerard Depardieu is going to hang on a second, doesn't it tell you something that this is a bad idea?
I don't speak French, so I'm not saying anything about over there. If you have a problem with the taxes in New York City or in California, move to Chicago. We'll take you. We'd love to have you.
There's too much gun violence there. And 94% of people that get away with their crimes. Did you see that today?
No, I didn't.
In Chicago. All right, but here's my question. Obama says a lot of things. I'm not going to take away your guns. He goes after our guns. He says, I'm not going to raise taxes except for the 1%. 77% of Americans just saw their taxes go up.
Well, to still something less than what they were under Bush.
They went up.
It was Obama who cut their payroll tax for 2 years, gave working people around the country a huge tax gift.
They just raised their taxes.
And it went back to what it was when they started.
A gift? Is that what it is if people pay less? A gift? They keep more of their money as a gift.
What the gift was to ask to have the payroll tax reduced. Republicans opposed it. Do you recall?
Can I ask a question? Give me a limit. If somebody pays state, local, federal government, even those evil rich people, because you guys like to divide everybody in America, explain how much should people...
I've been trying to get you to go to dinner with me, Sean. Who's being divisive?
I gave you a Roos Chris card. But seriously, how much should one of those evil rich people be allowed to keep out of every dollar they make?
The millionth dollar or the first 250?
Whatever.
I don't know. Look, it depends what you're using the money for.
The president says fair share.
I think the fair share of back to what it was in the 1990s when the country was doing very well, that strikes me as perfectly
after
appropriate.
they pay state, local, and federal, how much is their
if
fair
we're
share?
asking for federal policy, we shouldn't go change the federal. I'm not. We shouldn't change the federal rate if New York City decides to raise the tax rate. That's what happened in California.
I'm not letting you leave the studio. I'm going to throw the food at you if you don't stop.
The federal rate of 40% of what it was back under Clinton
but you're not answering
seems
my
totally
question.
appropriate.
I said after they pay their state, local, federal, all of their taxes, how much out of every dollar should they be able to keep? That's a simple question.
It's not a simple question. I will tell you, to have a 40% rate on the highest income, as it was in the 90s, plus the average state tax rate of, I think, 5%, seems that's one of the lowest rates on high income people that we've had over the last 65 years. The share of income of people in the top 400 people's income getting paid to the federal government is the lowest it's been in 25 years. And it strikes me as totally appropriate to just go back to the rates they were under the 90s.
Is still borrowing 46 cents of every dollar. $6 trillion in new Obama debt.
And so let's balance the budget and bring fiscal sanity by doing a balanced plan with some revenues and some cuts.
You already got your revenues. Now it's cutting time.
Well, you already got some cuts. Let's come together and let's do this. We could do it, Sean. If you and I sat together for 20 minutes, we could come up with
I'd throw my dinner at you. All right, I got to go. Good to see you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
good to see you again, Sean.
All right.